The officially most nominated film in Oscar histories, Sinners. Hi, my name is Drew and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. I'm very excited to talk about Sinners. I actually finally watched it recently. Didn't manage to see it in cinemas, heard about it all year. I was really curious about this film. Finally got it on Blu-ray, well actually on 4K. And now with the Oscar nominations being out, we know that it's officially the most decorated film, at least in terms of nominations, that we've ever had in Oscar history. 16 Oscar nominations all in all. I don't even know all of them. I mean, I've heard them, but you know, can't remember all 16 of them. Obviously an outstanding achievement, right? I'm not surprised after having seen the film. You know, the film is great in and of itself, but it does seem like the kind of film where the Oscars are like, yes, please, this will make us look like we like everyone. You know, just being a bit honest here. A film about the experiences of black people in America, you know, made by involving a lot of black people. It's obviously something we're like, oh, look at us, we're diverse, you know, but remember to look at them in more detail, especially when they're doing things that show that they're not so diverse again, you know, when it suits them. Anyway, enough about that rubbish. This is a great film. It's an interesting film. It's really, really difficult to place it. I'll be honest, I thought it was very, very different. I knew, and I think most people do when they hear about it, it somehow involves vampires, right? Okay, I was really curious about it. Ryan Coogler, the guy who made the Black Panther films, made a vampire film. It's like, seems a bit weird, you know, a bit off base, but I'll go with it. Why not? I'll definitely check it out. And even after watching, it's really difficult to place it. Now, at least on Wikipedia, it's listed as a horror film. I understand why it is, because with vampires, obviously you have horror elements in it. At the same time, it's not a scary film. You know, while it's got these elements that are a bit maybe gory or other things, might be a bit, I mean, obviously I'm a very, you know, over the years with video games and films, etc., you know, my emotions, my sensitivity to horror has definitely been blunted somewhat. I mean, I suppose I could picture some people seeing this going, but just from my point of view, in my opinion, it's not a horror film, right? I've also seen many people just call it a genre film, whatever that's supposed to mean, you know. It definitely does have a big mix of things, right? It's definitely that. There's a lot of things to like here. There's a lot of reasons to watch this film, even if it's just for one particular part of it, right? But let's talk about the plot. In its most simple description, the story is focused on two brothers. They're both played by Michael B. Jordan. They're twins in the story, so he plays both twins. They're called Smoke and Stack. They have been in Chicago, we hear. They've had some run-ins with mobsters there. They have now returned to Mississippi to where they came from, and they want to open a, let's call it a nightclub, a bar, that kind of thing, right? So the first half of the film, basically, we're watching them going about recruiting people for this. We've got musicians, we've got other people they're recruiting to help them with the bar work, all this kind of stuff, and it's setting everything up, right? We learn that we're in Mississippi. This is the Jim Crow era, so you've got racial segregation going on. We see a chain gang as well. Obviously, that's one of the most famous images that you have of that era, from that area, I'll call it. And yeah, so this is obviously a topic. We even have a lot of shots driving through cotton fields. I was going to say cornfields for a second, but it's cotton fields, right? More about that later, because I've got something to say about the cotton fields. Yes, that's the first half of the story, more or less, or maybe the first third to half, right? We've got run-ins with various people, people from their past, trouble brewing, arising relationships, complicated, these kind of things. The second half, we see their opening night. The opening night of their bar, their nightclub, their joint, whatever you want to call it. We see how it is all going really well. You know, you've got a lot of people there really enjoying it. And then we've got this group of people coming to the joint who are desperately trying to gain entry. But due to their weird behavior, they're sent on their ways. And the whole night from that point on takes quite a turn, right? Not going to say much more about the plot. I mean, again, I have mentioned it's about a vampire thing. This was really also the promotional thing. That's one of the first things I knew about this film, is that it's got to do with vampires. So I feel that that's not really a big spoiler, okay? But I mean, if it is for you, I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, I don't feel it's a big spoiler. Now, what makes this film so difficult to describe is we've got many things. We've obviously got the historical context, which I always find is interesting to learn about. Being from Europe, I mean, obviously Europe's had a lot of issues with racism as well, with slavery in the past. But I do feel that these kind of things, it's very, very particular. This American history with slaves and black people is, I think, or feel at least, very particular. Or maybe it's just because we get to see or hear and read so much about it, you know, that it feels a bit more, you can dive into it and learn about it. Anyway, so that's a really interesting aspect of it. You've got the music, because it's a nightclub, so obviously you've got music. This film has a very, very heavy focus on blues music, right? So if you like blues music, or if you're like me, you just like music in general, and I mean, I like heavy metal, and obviously that's got a very, very strong rooting in blues music as well. It's really, really cool. Also, it helps that it's really good music as well. Yeah, you've got one guy, a guitarist in the film. His character's name is Sammy. He's played by Miles Catton, actually in his first ever role. It's a debut. Amazing stuff, and I didn't look it up now, but if that is his real voice, which I do expect, absolutely amazing. He's got this song called Traveling, which I believe is also nominated for an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. Really amazing song. So the music is very interesting. There's also one sequence in the film that is really incredible that a lot of people mention and talk about, where you've got stuff going on. It's filmed wonderfully. You've got the music tying in. You're making all sorts of historical references within one scene, and it feels at least like a continuous shot. Must have been very difficult to set up. Yeah, you've got that. Obviously, if you're a vampire fan, you will like the vampire stuff going on as well. They've just to spoil that a wee bit, the vampires have got sort of an Irish background, which I thought was quite cool. I myself, some of my ancestors came from Ireland to Scotland, so I have Irish ancestors. So, you know, anything Irish I also immediately find very cool. That was quite interesting. But yes, the whole film is really difficult. I mean, like, it sounds like it's, yes, okay, it's a clear vampire thing, but it isn't really, because you've got these interactions, you've got these two guys, these twins, they're trying to do something for the community, they're trying to, you know, sort of support them and, you know, do something, give something back to them, because obviously they're all being, in one way or another, suppressed quite a lot, enslaved even, you know, what have you, in that way. Yeah. So I think that's really quite interesting. But to me, I mean, just to start with, it's a film, so obviously we're talking about visuals. It just looks phenomenal. Whether we're inside the jazz club and we've got these warm colours, it feels warm and fuzzy, and like, I want to be there, I want to go there tonight. You know, I want to have a good time, because that's exactly what it looks like. Absolutely phenomenal. The cotton fields, I mentioned them before. My wife was convinced that they're all a blue screen. To me, I'll be honest, it looks rather real. I mean, it's quite a big amount, so whether we had some real props and sets there, or whether half of it's CGI, or whether it's all CGI, I at least, and I'm usually quite particular about these things, to me at least it looked very real. And despite whether it's real or not, it just looked absolutely amazing. You're like, despite the connotations, the historical ones about cotton fields, you're like, this is a beautiful place to drive through in a car, you know, because that's what it looks like, you know. And then the music comes in, you've got Sammy playing on his guitar. It's really, the feeling, this film, to me, it's got a vibe, and I really enjoy it. It's so hard to describe, but I just really enjoy what it's presenting. I still really can't tell you what it's about. I still don't know ultimately how I feel about the film, other than I like it, you know, because it's got something. It mixes so many things. You've got some mob stuff in there as well. It just feels like a big mix of stuff, right? So it looks amazing. All the shots are just wonderful. I'm so glad I got the 4K version, because it really made me appreciate just the whole cinematography, the direction. Very interesting. Ryan Coogler, I haven't seen him do anything bad yet. I like his Black Panther films. Visually, his direction, he does a lot of great things. The music I already mentioned, you've obviously got a ton of great actors in this. You've got Michael B. Jordan. He, I believe, is nominated in his double main role as the two twins. You've got Haley Steinfeld. She plays an ex-flame of one of the two brothers, and she is presented as being sort of slightly mixed race, and there's some complications there. She's got a rather big role. I really liked her as well. This film to me feels a lot like about people struggling to fit in or find their place in society, even when they're among their, let's call them peers, it's still a bit difficult. You've got Delroy Lindo. I always enjoy watching him in anything he does. He's called Delta Slim. He's a drunk who plays the harmonica and the piano, and he's just amazing in everything he does. So he's also nominated, which I think is great, because I think I'm among a group of people who were really disappointed that he wasn't nominated for The Five Bloods a few years back, which is an incredible film which you really should watch. I mean, I should rewatch it myself. It's a Netflix film. Don't know if it's still on Netflix, but it's generally speaking a Netflix film. I'll leave, if I can find it, my review to that, I'll leave that at the end of this video. Right, you've got so many great, you've got Wunmi Mosaku, who you've definitely seen in a few things as well. She is great as Annie, the ex-flame of the other brother. I mix up which brother is who is sort of, let's call it the one person in each horror story who knows the drill, is like, oh, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, with vampires, what do we do against them? I mean, it's all mixed in with hoodoo, not voodoo. Hoodoo, I don't know what the difference between hoodoo and voodoo is, don't ask me. That's how it's presented in the film anyway. But all her stuff on screen, she has a really powerful role as well. And just all these character moments between each individual twin and either one of their ex-flames, or Sammy the guitarist, or Delta Slim. Just enjoyed all of these moments. So you've got so many great things going for it. I can't tell you again exactly this and this and this and this is why it was nominated for Best Film, because it's also nominated for that. Ryan Coogler is nominated for Best Direction. And they got other things, costumes, I believe. I really like the outfits. Every time I see a film from these kind of periods, I'm like, I think I would like to wear stuff like that as well. Obviously nowadays I'd look really silly with that. But yeah, the film's got a vibe. I really like it. I just find it hard to put into words why. I can name individual things like I did, but I really find it difficult to give a summary of why I like it, right? Just in a short sentence or two. Can't do that. If you have the opportunity to watch it, definitely do. I feel that you can't come away from this film and be, just like, I watched a film, I suppose that was okay. I mean, my wife, at the end, she, even less than I, she just didn't know what to make of the film, because to her it was all over the place. Not in terms of it being badly made or so, but because it's taking from so many different things and aspects and genres, she just couldn't place it, and that really was not her cup of tea. But as far as I can tell, she also enjoyed it. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about anything you want to say about Sinners, which, funnily enough, in German they were like, Sinners, this title will confuse people. Let's call it Blood and Sinners. It's like, why? I don't know. In German it's called Blood and Sinners. Anyway, anything you want to say about the film, put it down in the comments below. And I'll leave a link to my review of The Five Bloods here. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care. Bye.